Sterling High School, Channel 19, winner of the National Emmy Award for the Best Live Game Broadcast.
You're watching Sterling High School, Channel 19, serving Hynella, Laurel Springs, Magnolia, Summerdale, and Stratford.
For the first time since 1971, Sterling is South Jersey champ.
Went on to become the New Jersey Tournament of Champions winner. South Jersey's never won it before. So the Sterling Lady Knights and that string sing. South Jersey is well represented now.
Sterling is going to the championship game.
Looks like he's fouled there. Put on his desperation shot. And there he goes. It's good. It's good.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Sterling Channel 19, and we are just getting ready for some Friday Night Smackdown as your Sterling Silver Knights will go against the Paulsboro Red Raiders. Can't wait to watch this one. Paulsboro, very historically great wrestling school, while Sterling off to a little bit of a slow start as we take a look at the Colonial Patriot standings from last year. The Audubon Green Wave taking it 18-9 overall, 5-0 in the division, and the Gateway Gators 16-11 overall, 4-1 in the division, 11-14 overall, and then 3-2 in the division were the Haddon Township Hawks, who Sterling lost to previously this Wednesday. Haddon Heights Garnets were 8-14 in the overall, and then 2-3 in the division. And then there were your Sterling Silver Knights, who were 6-21 overall, 1-4 in the division. And then the Lindenwald Lions were 3-16 overall and 0-5 in the division. So we're going to take a moment to step aside here and let the team introduce themselves.
Declan Winters, sophomore, 150, Laurel Springs.
Anthony Gogolski, senior, 175, 190, Laurel Springs.
Kenny McCardle, senior, 190, 215, Laurel Springs.
Liam Crawford, sophomore, 215, Laurel Springs.
Desi Mullen, freshman, Summerdale, heavyweight.
Ryan Please, freshman, 106, Stratford.
Renee Camacho, sophomore, 175, 165, Laurel Springs.
John Beasley, senior, 157 and 165, Stratford.
Thomas Fitzgerald, freshman, 120, Clayton.
Joseph Rogers, senior, 126, Stratford.
Jaden Ferrier, senior, 175, Summerdale.
Victor Romano, sophomore, 157, Stratford.
Chris Galucci, freshman, 113, Stratford.
Joel Small, junior, 144, Summerdale.
Joseph Carter, junior, 132, Magnolia.
Rafael Sanchez, freshman, 138, Stratford.
Deborah Amon, sophomore, 120, Stratford.
Lily Stevenson, freshman, 120, Laurel Springs.
Maddie Hickman, senior, 165, Stratford.
So welcome back here, and then we're going to take a look at the Colonial Liberty standings from last year. The West Deptford Eagles taking it 21-3 overall, 4-0 in the division. Very powerhouse stacked Colonial Liberty. Now the Paulsboro Red Raiders, they were 22-2, 3-1 in the division. Gloucester Lions were 16-8, and then 2-2 in the division. Haddonfield was 16-9, 1-3 in the division, and then the Collingswood Panthers 22-11, 0-4 in the division. So taking a look at the team comparisons right now, Sterling is 0-1 and 4th in the Colonial Patriot, and then Paulsboro is 1-0 and 1st in the Colonial Liberty. Sterling gets 24 points per match, and then defense gets 47 points per match, and then Paulsboro dominates on the offensive with 41 points per match and only allows 27. So we're going to listen in to PA announcer Charles Kierzanowski for some of the intros.
Sterling Cameron Johnson. Wrestling 144 for Paulsboro, Ben Price, Grayson Lane, Julian Sosa. For Sterling, Joel Small. Wrestling 150 for Paulsboro, Ben Price, Grayson Lane, Julian Sosa. For Sterling, Declan Winters. Wrestling 157 for Paulsboro, Dino Lucas. For Sterling, Victor Romano. Wrestling 165 for Paulsboro, Sawyer Cabanas. For Sterling, John Beasley. Wrestling 175 for Paulsboro, Deshaun Williams. For Sterling, Renee Camacho. Wrestling 190 for Paulsboro, Dante Scott. For Sterling, Anthony Gagolski. Let's go. Wrestling 215 for Paulsboro, Frank Damager. For Sterling, Liam Crawford. And wrestling 285 for Paulsboro, Jared Hazel. For Sterling, Tessie Mullen.
As we take a look at our brand new mat, getting ready for some Friday Night SmackDown. The beautiful mat that the wrestling team got this year with the Knight logo right in the middle of the shield and Sterling Knights, Sterling on the top, Knights on the bottom. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. I'm Daniel Leakin, joined here by Max Zubak as we're just getting ready to get this one started.
I'm very excited for the first appearance for wrestling for me.
Yeah.
I'm not very familiar with this version of it, but I'm excited to continue to get into it. I've learned a little bit out of it throughout the day.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to see how the process is. It's very technical. And it's a lot of fun to watch these wrestlers go, and I'm very excited for each of these weight classes to keep moving through. It's going to be a nice first experience.
So captains in the middle right now. Looks like a coin flip to figure out who will get favor. I think they choose even or odds, and even or odds determines the ref position for each stoppage.
Quick announcement, if you are an owner of a Jeep Cherokee, your lights are on.
So this is the third match of the week here for Sterling Channel 19. We had girls basketball for Tuesday and Thursday, and now we're at Friday, officially in spring or winter break mode and getting ready for some wrestling. It looks like we're going to start off with the 132 weight class, so that'll be Joseph Carter against Andre Hill.
Wrestling 132 for Sterling, Joseph Carter Jr. for Paulsboro. Andre Hill.
So we're just getting started here. Andre Hill going for the early takedown. Joseph Carter playing good defense. 3 points there for Andre Hill, an early three. Joseph Carter still battling on this ground, trying to rotate out. Andre Hill burying the face into the mat. Gets another three. So an early 6 points here for Andre Hill. Looks like Hill is trying to go under, maybe trying to cradle Carter here. But a nice escape there for Joseph Carter. So 6-1 the score right now. Both wrestlers back in neutral position. Hill going back down for that takedown, and he gets it. Another 3 points here for Hill. Carter trying to battle. Hill staying persistent. Carter trying to flip out. And Andre Hill just powering Carter to the ground, and that's a pin there for Hill, and an early match win there for the Red Raiders.
It's a very impressive round between these two. Carter got a nice escape, but after the fact, they just couldn't quite get much done in that second takedown from Hill there.
So now it's 138. Andre Hill with an early 6 points there for the Red Raiders. So it's Cameron Johnson. And he will go against Lucas Gazzola here at the 138 weight class. An early 6 points here for the Eagles, and we're just getting ready. Johnson and Gazzola taking their time, both wrestlers in neutral position. Gazzola goes for the takedown. Johnson trying to rip out of it. Gazzola trying to go for that hook. Almost gets him down. Both wrestlers still battling, trying to force each other to the ground here. Gazzola and Johnson. Gazzola gets him down, only for a moment though. Johnson gets up. Looks like Johnson has his leg stuck between Gazzola's two legs. Gazzola trying to force him to the ground. 0 points for both of those wrestlers after that long scrum. Both wrestlers back in neutral position. Johnson was trying to go for the legs there. Gazzola playing good defense. Gazzola now with the takedown. No official points awarded yet, and he gets the 3. So Gazzola on top of Johnson now. Johnson flat on his stomach, trying to muscle his way back up. Gazzola hooking the leg between his 2 legs. Gazzola trying to muscle down Johnson. Johnson staying persistent. This is the 138 fight. Paulsboro took the first in the 132. Andre Hill pinned Joseph Carter. Violation right there. So they were going to rest position. It looks like Cameron Johnson will start on the bottom. Gazzola will start on top. Awaiting the whistle. And they get going. A nice flip away there from Johnson, and he gives himself a point. Great speed right there from Johnson. It's a 3-1 match at the moment in this first period. Both opponents sizing each other up here in the neutral position. Just a great move there from Johnson. Just quick speed right there. Now both wrestlers back in this neutral position. Time running out here in period number 1. And that'll do it. So a nice period between these 2 wrestlers and a long-spirited matchup so far.
Yeah, very long-winded, a lot of scrumming around, not a lot of takedowns. Obviously the one that Gazzola ended up getting for Paulsboro, very important, but then another quick and making it look easy with the escape from Johnson. It's good to go into the second period both with low points and high expectations for the coming rounds.
And Johnson with yet another escape, making this one 3-2. Johnson looks like the much quicker wrestler so far. We'll see how that pairs out through the next 2 periods. Both wrestlers back in neutral position. Gazzola looking to go for the legs. Johnson still trying to stand up. Gazzola hooking the leg. Trying to wrestle him to the ground. Replay of that escape on the bottom left right there. Just Johnson using that quick speed once again, as he's done a couple times so far. Johnson's trying to get himself out of this predicament as Gazzola's looking to hook the leg. Johnson trying to use his speed once again. 3 points awarded there to Gazzola. Johnson still trying to escape. Gazzola staying persistent. And he drags him out of play. So 6-2 the score right now. Gazzola beating Johnson. Johnson looks like he's going to go back in that bottom position. We've seen him escape a couple times before. Let's see if Gazzola can hang on. Tries to pull away. Gazzola does a good job of hooking the leg, trying to pull him back down. Johnson on top. Nice reversal there. That gets him 2 points. Gazzola trying to reverse out of that one. Doing a good job as we take a look at the replay of that one as Gazzola gets himself 2 more points. Long-spirited battle between these 2 wrestlers. Johnson trying to get himself out of this one as Gazzola staying persistent. Keep driving Johnson into the mat, trying to wear him out. 35 seconds here in period number 2. Nice escape there from Johnson, and we're back at square one at an 8-5 score in favor of Gazzola. Take a look at that replay. Had him hooked, but Johnson, again, just using his elusiveness and escaping that one. So 10 seconds left. Johnson on top of Gazzola, gets him wrapped up, trying to finish the cradle. Gazzola trying to stand up, drag him to the ground. There's a takedown there for Gazzola to end the second period.
We saw throughout that very nimble wrestler that Cameron Johnson has gotten him out of some situations. However, Gazzola has that speed and that strength that has been able to overtake Johnson in some of these kind of scenarios. And that's what's given him a 6-point lead throughout this second period and going into the third period. He starts in the bottom position.
So Gazzola on the bottom, Johnson on top. Gazzola trying to escape. Johnson trying to drive him into the ground. Gazzola getting on top of Johnson, though. That looks like that's 2 points for Gazzola on the reversal. Gazzola looking for the pin here. Has Johnson on his side. Johnson forces himself to his stomach and is trying to get up here against Gazzola. Gazzola had him in a good spot there, but Johnson very elusive and slips right out of that hold that he had him in as we take a look at the replay on the bottom left. So both wrestlers in an arch position. Gazzola trying to go for the legs here of Johnson. Johnson escapes. 13-6 to score here as both wrestlers are back in neutral position. Here in this third period, Johnson would need a major comeback or a pin to try and get himself back into this matchup. Gazzola, I think, knows that and can play a little bit more defensive. But Gazzola goes for the legs. Johnson maybe looking a little worn out here. Gazzola is really taking it to him on the mat. A minute and 13. Looks like we pause on the timer here. A minute and 13 reads the clock. Johnson and Gazzola here in neutral position as Johnson was looking for the takedown, couldn't get it. Coach Wiggins is unhappy. These wrestlers stuck in neutral position, I'd say, for the past 30 seconds as we're just under a minute here in period number 3. Gazzola with the lead. Johnson going for the takedown. Looks like a violation called there on Johnson.
Take a look again. It's definitely a bit of a scrap on the outside.
And a little girl wanted to get it in on the action. I don't think she would be in the 138 weight class. I would just say that.
Probably be around the 47.
So now they're back in neutral position. Gazzola looking for the takedown, trying to muscle him to the ground. He gets the 3 points. 15-6 the score. 35 seconds left. Gazzola probably trying to keep Johnson on his stomach for the remainder of this period as he's had control most of this. This period was close, but Gazzola has really started to pull away. Has himself a 10-point lead. 18 seconds left here for Johnson to try and will himself back up. Gazzola doing a good job of playing defensive here. Johnson escapes, gets himself a point. Little time left though, 9 seconds left. Johnson just has to go for it. Nice defense there by Gazzola. Johnson trying to go for the legs. Gazzola doing a good job as he's on the back. We're gonna get some back points here, but time runs out before Johnson could do anything. A nice move by Johnson nevertheless.
Yeah, again, very nice move we see here. Tries to get him on the back, goes for a very late pin, but a smart back arch to maintain the lead. Solid throughout all 3 periods between those two.
Did get himself a couple of back points towards the end there. I would say 2, but not enough to get him back as he was down by 10. So Joel Small in the 144, and it will be Ben Price, the opponent he will be going against here on the 144 weight class. So Joel Small versus Ben Price right after that 3-period matchup between Johnson and Gazzola. Small, very physical fighter, very built on top. Maybe trying to use that to his advantage. Paulsboro had a couple of fighters lined up for this 144 matchup. Definitely was trying to pick the best opponent for Joel Small. So both wrestlers in that neutral position, but they are grappled up. Price looking to go down low as Small does a good job of getting out of that one. He tries to go low on Price. He hooks the hamstring. Trying to go down is Joel Small using his upper body, but Price gets back up. And then we're back in the neutral position. Thank you all for tuning in for some Friday night SmackDown here between the Paulsboro Red Raiders and your Sterling Silver Knights. I'm Daniel Leakin, joined by Max Zubak here on the mic. Glad to bring you guys the first wrestling stream of the winter season. So now Small sizing up Price. Both wrestlers in the neutral position here. Less than 1 minute to go here in period number 1. For the takedown, going for the takedown is Price here. Has the hamstring hooked. Joel Small trying to force himself out of it. Price still persistent. He's trying to tackle down Small. He gets him down. No points awarded yet. Small hasn't been taken down officially. Small now down, and 3 points awarded there for Paulsboro. Ben Price doing a good job. Small now on his stomach. Trying to hook the hamstring. Small trying to still get himself out of it. Has gotten himself back on his feet. 10 seconds read on period number 1. Whistle blows. Looks like a violation right there.
Take a look. It's very strong between the two for a solid almost the full 3 minutes, but then very late takedown gives Price a 3-0 lead towards the end of the first period. It's been very, kind of strongmanish between the two. They've been wrestling for getting on top position, getting that first takedown. Now the threshold's finally been broken through.
Call on the ref looked like a potentially dangerous left or right hand. So now Joel Small on the bottom, Price on top. Small trying to rip himself out of it, trying to get up, trying to go for the reversal here. Joel Small gets himself a point. Time winding down here in period number 1, going for the leg, but a little bit too late. So after period number 1, we're at a 3-1 score.
Nice reversal towards the end to get on the board before the end of the first period. But nonetheless, couldn't get the takedown he was looking for to get a lead.
So the junior Joel Small going against Ben Price here. Coach Wiggins opts for Small to go down, so he is on the bottom. Price will be on the top. There is Coach Wiggins, coach of the football team and the wrestling team. More on that once this match comes to a close. Small trying to wrestle himself up here against Price. He gets wrestled down to the ground. He's on his stomach flat. Small now having some work to try and get back up. Price trying to keep him in that position. The 144 weight class here between junior Joe Small and Ben Price. Joel Small gets himself back on his feet. Price trying to drag him down. Joel Small trying to face Price, but now has his back towards him. He gets tackled towards the ground. Joel Small gets himself up, though, and there is an escape point there for Joel Small. We're at a 3-2 score. As we take a look at the replay on the bottom left, way to get good positioning on Price. Price has his leg, trying to force Joel Small to the ground. Small looking large as he's trying not to get dragged down here by Price. Two very talented fighters. Small gets tackled to the ground. 3 points awarded there to Paulsboro. So a 6-2 score. So we take a look at the replay.
It's another instance of a lot of tussling around. There was a little more on the ground this time around. Once they get back up, that neutral position, very dangerous for both sides. But Price has been, on top of this throughout the first couple of periods here.
So 1 minute and 3 seconds to play here in period number 2 for these two wrestlers. Small trying to get positional advantage here on Price, but Price still being resilient. Small still trying to push forward. Getting dragged down here by Price. Price looks like the better fighter thus far. So Small on his stomach, Price on top. 34 seconds read on the clock in period number 2. 6-2 advantage here to Price.
See, on the weight, he's on Small's back. He has a lot of trouble getting an escape here, but we've seen him do it before. He can do it again. He's slowly alleviating the pressure from the back, but he gets shut down once again.
Yeah, good job by Price to make sure that Small is unable to get up, providing the pressure from the back. Small having a tough time trying to get his hands under him and push up, and hasn't had a lot of footwork either because of the pressure on his lower back. A second reads, and that'll be the end of period number 2. You can follow us on Twitter or X at SterlingTV19, where we have live updates of all the sports and, of course, all the fun things that happen here around the castle. So make sure you guys go follow us on Twitter or X at SterlingTV19. So now period number 3. Price in the lead here, 6-2. Small on top, Price on the bottom. Both of these wrestlers having good spirited battle following the last matchup as well, which was very good. And it looks like a little timeout here from Coach Wiggins. Looks like an asthma thing for Joel Small. So, Max, what I meant when I was talking about Coach Wiggins being the coach of the wrestling team and the football team, when we look at these rosters coming up, there's a lot of players that we're going to see that were on that football roster. And I think for Sterling, that's important to build both programs because you're having a lot of these, wrestlers, a lot of these players that do both of these sports, which require very similar movements and similar tactics to try and take the other person down.
For sure, and we've already seen, the connection with Wiggins and his players on both of those teams, respectively, is very good. They're very good communication. We've already seen someone for both of those sides in Joseph Carter.
Yep.
Early on, first one. And we'll be seeing later Desi Mullen, another example.
Rene Camacho. I mean, the list goes on and on. There is Paul Marino for the Paulsboro Red Raiders, a legendary coach there. Gets a lot of state caliber wrestlers from that Paulsboro side. But yeah, Desi Mullen didn't do a lot of wrestling before this year. Kind of joined in because he's a defensive tackle on our football team. Rene Camacho didn't do a lot of football before this year and joined the football team because he did wrestling. He was a linebacker this year, one of the better players on the team as well. So now 6-2 the score here, getting ready for period number 3. Small on top, Price on the bottom, and both of these wrestlers get going. Joel Small still trying to wrestle Price to the ground. Price almost escaping. Small keeping that grip. Bryce trying to break it. And Price escapes. Gives Paulsboro a point. So Small and Price wrestling. Both in the neutral position. Small gets a good grapple on top. Trying to use the upper body strength as we take a look at the replay there on the lower half. Small was approaching the hamstring. Didn't get a lot of it. Team scores, or at the bottom of your screen, you see the individual player scores, but the team score right now is 9-0 in favor of the Paulsboro Red Raiders. The first round, Andre Hill got the pin, and in the second round, Gazzola won in 3 periods. So it looks like a violation there on what looked like Joel Small was a technical violation. So both wrestlers will start back in neutral position. So less than a minute to go here in period number 3. Joel Small will need a pin because on the back points he can only get a maximum of 4. So he's going to need the pin here. Oh, he's within 4, so he could try and tie it up here in period number 3. Price having the positional advantage right now over Small. Small trying to push up. Price looking for the takedown here as Small wrestled to the ground. He gets the 3 points here, and Price starting to pull away with this one. Small on his chest as there's 15 seconds to go here in period number 3. 10 seconds left. Joel Small trying to wrestle himself out of this one, but Price doing a great job of getting positional advantage to shut this one down, and it looks like Price is going to take the round. So once again, Max, a long-spirited matchup between the two wrestlers, but once again, Paulsboro getting the win.
Paulsboro very well coached. They know what they're doing, and while Sterling's gotten a lot of good opportunities, the takedowns, the strength side of things have been dominated by this Paulsboro team. It doesn't mean to say that Sterling has not done a very solid job putting in the effort to try and get there. They still haven't put any team points together just yet.
So it'll be Declan Winters, the sophomore, going against Julian Sosa for Paulsboro at the 150 wrestle matchup. Sterling has yet to win a matchup. The team score is 12-0 in favor of Paulsboro. Andre Hill with the only pin thus far. Ben Price and Lucas Gazzola got theirs in 3 periods, but there is a 3-point takedown there for Declan Winters to start. Good start there for the Knights. Declan Winters, very spirited fighter, trying to roll what looks like Julian Sosa onto his back. Sosa looking to break out, and he does. So 1 point there for Sosa, so a 3-1 score here in favor of Winters. Sosa trying to take Winters down. Winters trying to get in good positioning, trying to get him for the takedown here. Both fighters still going. Sosa has the advantage right now. 3 points there for Paulsboro. Sosa looking to drag Winters down. Winters staying with his hands on the mat. Winters trying to get his positional advantage back, and he gets out of it and gets himself a point. So a tie matchup here between Sosa and Winters. So both fighters, wrestlers in the neutral position. As Sosa looks to drag down Winters. Winters staying up. 30 seconds in period number 1. Sosa once again going for the legs, has Winters' right leg hooked up. 15 seconds to go here in period number 1. Sosa trying to drag him down. Both fighters still battling on the ground. 3 points awarded there for Declan Winters for the takedown. So we're at a 7-4 score, and it looks like Winters is going to take period number 1.
Take a look here. He's in a bit of a tight position and then flips it on him to Sosa and gets that late takedown to give himself a lead going into the second period, something that Sterling has really needed is that kind of momentum to build off of going into the next period. And Winters has done the best job at maintaining that so far. It's been very high energy and high paced throughout that first period. Can they keep that up throughout, though?
So now Winters at the bottom position, Sosa on top. Winters with a 7-4 advantage at the start of this round. Sterling as a team down 12-0. Winters in a pretty spotty position here, trying to prevent the leg from tossing him over. Winters trying to use his upper body strength to pull back, and does. Sosa was trying to flip him onto his back, try to attempt the pin. Winters off the mat. So they will reset in a ref's position.
And very energetic start once again. Very high energy and high pressure on each other to try and make sure it works out before even 30 seconds could hit just prior. Already getting off the mat. They've been
So a caution there on Paulsboro. Here's one of our Sterling Silver Knight coaches right there. So Sosa and Winters back in rest position. Winters on the bottom, Sosa on top, and Winters gets away. Nice move there by Declan Winters. So take a look at the replay there. Pulling away from Sosa. Winters trying to use his height advantage to his advantage, and now Winters back on top, looking for the takedown. Still trying to muscle his way through Sosa. Winters on top of Sosa. Winters needing to drive here, not getting the takedown points yet. Winters still pushing through Sosa. Three points awarded there to Winters. Great coaching there by Coach Wiggins, who shouted him the instructions from the side and got him the 3 points. So Winters still trying to break down Sosa right now. Has an 11-4 advantage in period number 2 with 26 seconds to go. Whistle blows. It looks like a potentially dangerous left or right hand call. It looks like Sosa will be on the bottom. Nevertheless, Winters holds this 11-4 advantage, looking to get Sterling's first overall win of the evening. Good job with Winters staying with Sosa as he was trying to climb himself out of that grapple. 10 seconds remain here in period number 2. So a spirited matchup, and Winters still has the lead going into period number 3. You can follow us on Facebook on Sterling Channel 19, where we will have all the fun things we do here at the castle, updates about our streams, and updates about things that you guys need to know. So make sure you guys go follow us on Facebook at Sterling Channel 19. So period number 3 now, Winters with an 11-4 lead over Sosa. Sosa trying to flip down. It looks like we're going to have an injury timeout here. Looked uncomfortable off the start. We're going to take a look and see what happens. If we can get the angle from where we're sitting, we can kind of see him wince the moment the whistle blew, as we see only 2 seconds tick down. Here's a good angle. Right there, he started wincing. It looked like something on his shoulder.
Might have been, as the push happened from Winters, maybe something on the neck as well.
Yeah. So Sosa in a lot of pain, getting attended to by our trainer, Sean Clink. At the start of this period number 3, and a very spirited matchup between these two wrestlers, and it's unfortunate that this may happen to Sosa. So our next TV game will be Monday, December 23rd. Christmas came early with this one as boys basketball will be going against the Cherokee Chiefs, a Group 3 team coming here to the Castle. Live on Channel 19 and live on YouTube.com/Sterling TV 19. So we're going to take one more look at it from the same angle as before, just to maybe pinpoint what happened. It looked like, Max, on the impact of Winters' slam, it looked like Sosa looked a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, it looked like from the side, he's just holding onto the neck.
Yeah.
It looked like there was some pressure from the shoulder of Winters that kind of pressed onto the neck, and that caused the discomfort. Just not something you want to see.
No. Very dangerous spot. Looks like he's pointing to his neck. He's going to get back up on his feet, which is fortunate. Julian Sosa. May have to forfeit this match, but we're going to have to see. Getting attended to by trainer Sean Clank. This will determine maybe whether or not he can get back into this matchup. But the kids at Sterling officially on Christmas break. We're going to have, I think, one stream during Christmas break. That'll be that 23rd stream against Cherokee. And to come in January, we're going to have girls basketball, boys basketball, and wrestling. So very excited to kickstart a very fun January, as that's, I think, when Tech Crew is at its hottest. You guys may think the fall season's the busiest, but winter season is it's almost an everyday stream.
I think fall season was mainly playoff busy,
yeah,
more than regular season busy.
Yep.
But
we had football every Friday, basically. We had soccer almost every day of the week, depending on the team. We had field hockey. I mean, we did have to cover a lot of sports. We had girls volleyball, too. Spring is quite busy, too, when we feel like doing the streams because we don't have Mr. K, so a lot of the time it's student run. So that's a 5-sport, spring for us, and that gets busy as well.
Good thing about being busy, though, is you're never bored.
Nope.
You are never bored.
So it looks like Sosa's going to stay in this matchup between him and Winters after, I'd say, a long time down on the mat for him. He's going to stay in. Winters going against Sosa now. Winters trying to get the advantage here over Sosa in period number 3. Has the 11-4 lead. Still trying to drive Sosa into the ground. Winters using his lower half to his advantage. The strong hamstrings are digging Sosa into the ground. Sosa having a tough time getting back up to his feet. Winters driving. Still doing a good job of kind of moving Sosa in a comfortable position for him to drive. Kind of knocks him back down onto his knees. Minute and 12 read on the third period clock. Winters looking for Sterling's first win of the evening for Friday Night Smackdown, which I like to call it. Trying to get up here is Sosa. Sosa returning to his feet. He gets a point. A minute to go here for the Red Raiders to try and get back into this one.
See, there's a very good escape there. Something desperately needed going into this final minute of this 150 weight class matchup.
So now Winters staying here with Sosa. 40 seconds left here in period number 3 for these two wrestlers. Winters trying to get low. Sosa trying to go for the hamstring. Winters trying to get back up. Going for the takedown. Sosa getting the advantage.
Again, a stoppage from going a little too far out on the mat.
Yep. So 11-5 as the wrestlers will start in neutral position. 20 seconds read. A good takedown attempt here by Sosa. A nice reversal there by Winters as Sosa couldn't complete it. It looked like 9 seconds left. Time still ticking down. Sosa having a tough time getting up. 3 points awarded there to Winters, and that'll do it as Sterling will get their first matchup win of the night.
They needed it, and they got it out of a really solid performance from Winters.
A nicely spirited matchup between the two wrestlers. And Declan Winters will take the win. As now it is time for the 157 matchup between Victor Romano and Dino Lucas.
For Sterling, Victor Romano. For Paulsboro, Dino Lucas.
So Dino Lucas versus Victor Romano, the sophomore against Lucas. And we're off here as the official score now is 12-4 in favor of the Paulsboro Red Raiders. So both wrestlers in neutral position. Romano definitely a much more built upper half. Trying to use that to his advantage. Defined shoulders, broad stance. Not really hunched over as much as Lucas is. Trying to go for the legs. Nice counter there by Lucas. Romano trying to throw him down, and both wrestlers back in neutral. Romano trying to get all that flow out of his face as Lucas trying to do the same probably. Romano trying to drag Lucas down to the ground, and both wrestlers return back in neutral position with just about a minute to go here in period number 1. No points awarded yet. Wrestlers still sizing each other up. 50 seconds read on the clock for period number 1. .40 seconds now as time still ticking away. Both these wrestlers yet to make one big move. Romano trying to go for the leg. Can't get it. Still grappling up top. 30 seconds read here in period number 1. Still tangled up with 20 seconds left. No points awarded to either wrestler. Trying to go for the leg there is Lucas. Can't get it off. Good defense there by Romano. Both wrestlers still fighting with 6 seconds left. Time still ticking down and reaching a second, and I think that'll do it for period number 1. For you people watching on cable, you know you can watch us on YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/SterlingTV19 to watch all of our live streams, all of our funny commercials, and our Castle Connections featuring Mr. Claiborne. So make sure you guys go on our YouTube, subscribe to youtube.com/SterlingTV19. So Romano on the bottom, Lucas on top. The first time we've seen these wrestlers out of neutral position. And an escape point there for Romano. Great job there. So Lucas and Romano back in this neutral position they've been fighting in for, or excuse me, wrestling in, I'd say, for most of this matchup. Lucas still trying to push through Romano. Romano doing a good job of getting on top. Trying to hook the leg. He does get it. Romano trying to get the tackle, but Dino was pushing through. Lucas still trying to drive through Romano. Romano trying to do the same. He tries to get up. Romano still trying to hook the leg. Lucas unable to move. Romano trying to put himself in a position for success. Still trying to turn. Lucas hooks him. Lucas trying to push out of this. Trying to push Romano down. Romano gets pushed down to the ground, and 3 points there for Lucas. Spirited battle for a moment there as the whistle blows. We're going to take a replay.
It's very well-deserved set of points there. Is a good fight after Romano had most of that for that round, or that period. Just can't quite hang on when he gets the force pushed back onto him. Now he starts in bottom position once again. 50 seconds remaining in period number 2.
So with 50 seconds left, a good drive there by Lucas. Romano trying to get back onto his feet. 43 seconds go down in period number 2. Romano trying to get out of this spot as he tries to put Lucas on his back. Romano doing a good job of getting back on top. Lucas staying flat on his stomach. Romano gets on top. 1 point awarded there to Romano, so 3-2 the score. Romano trying to hook the hamstring. 20 seconds read here in period number 2. Romano trying to drag Lucas to the ground. Lucas staying resilient. Romano gets on top, gets himself those 3 points. Everyone on the bench realized the opportunity to turn there for Romano. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left, and a second. And that'll do it for period number 2. Great battle between these two wrestlers as we take a look at the replay.
Take a look again. He gets some solid control, and even sees from the bench, tell him to turn.
You can even see from some of the crowd as well. Mr. McCardle there in the crowd even saw it as well, telling Romano to turn. Took advantage.
He did.
Yeah, took advantage of the opportunity. So 5-3 the score now for Romano over Lucas. Period number 3 approaching. A big one here for Sterling and Paulsboro, as the Paulsboro Red Raiders only lead by 8 in the total matchup. Sterling has 4, the Raiders with 12. Romano trying to shove Lucas to the ground. Both wrestlers trying to get back up in a good stance. Romano trying to throw him to the ground. He has him in a good opportunity, but Lucas does a good job of flipping. Romano still trying to force him to his back. He's going to get some back points out of this. Lucas in some trouble here. Romano trying to get the pin. Still trying to push to the ground. He gets the pin. Victor Romano, the sophomore, exhilarated. Sterling gets their first pin of the night as Romano pins Lucas.
Incredible amount of effort to get there. Take a look again. He gets him on the back, tries to go for an arch, doesn't get anywhere, and the shoulders drop and the pin is called.
Sterling bench on fire. That was a great matchup between Romano and Lucas, but Romano gets the last laugh, and that spirited matchup comes to a close. Sterling now within 2 of the Red Raiders, and now the captain for this Sterling Knights team, John Beasley, fighting in this 165 matchup against Sawyer Cabanas. One more look there at Victor Romano's pin, and we're off here in the 165 matchup, Beasley against Cabanas. Cabanas getting an early advantage there over Beasley, gets his early 3 points. Beasley wrestled to the ground here. Trying to flip Cabanas over. Beasley on his stomach. 30 seconds tick down here in period number 1. One of the captains for this Sterling team, a senior. Loves the sport of wrestling. Sterling only down by 2 in terms of the team score, 12-10. Cabanas does a good job of getting in good position to start out this matchup. Beasley still trying to recover. Looks like a top and bottom kind of position here. As Cabanas tries to roll, he's going to get Beasley on his back. Beasley has an opportunity. 4 points tick down there for Cabanas. Beasley needs to get back onto his stomach, and he does. 50 seconds. 4 points awarded there to Paulsboro, nevertheless. Take a look there. He had Beasley pretty wrapped up. Beasley was in some trouble, but he got himself out of it. Cabanas still on top. And you could see that Cabanas has Beasley's arm hooked on his back, and Beasley unable to use that arm to try and force himself back up. So an early 7 points here before rest position. So Beasley now on the bottom. Cabanas on top. Beasley trying to get himself back in a good position. Cabanas with the big takedown. And Cabanas goes back to work on the ground game. Trying to flip Beasley over. Beasley staying resilient. 3 seconds left. Whistle blows. So 2 seconds left here in ref's position. Beasley on the bottom, Cabanas on top. Cabanas up 7-0. Whistle blows, and I think that'll do it for period number 1. And you can follow us on Instagram at SterlingTV19, where we have all the funny pictures of us here on Sterling Channel 19 and all the funny things happening around the castle. And, of course, those behind-those-scenes pictures of us here on Sterling Channel 19. So make sure you guys go follow the Instagram at SterlingTV19. Beasley wrestles Cabanas to the ground. Cabanas with a nice reversal, though. He gets back on top of Beasley. And a point is awarded to Cabanas, as Cabanas still trying to wrestle Beasley to the ground. A very physical fighter. Cabanas gets him on his stomach. And Cabanas has 11 here in this matchup.
Cabanas has had total control over Beasley throughout these first couple of periods, and we know Beasley is very capable of getting himself out of these situations. He just hasn't quite found the opening just yet. And he's got about a period and a half to get there.
Ref trying to get a good angle here. Looks like he counted all 4 in favor of Cabanas, who already has an 11-point lead over Beasley. 4 points were awarded to Cabanas. And I think that one will do it because he scored 15. So Cabanas beats Beasley pretty handedly. And this Red Raiders score increases to 17-10. But now it's the big dogs now. So Rene Camacho, the sophomore, wrestling 175 here against Dejon Williams.
For Paulsboro, Dejon Williams.
So Dejon Williams against Rene Camacho, the sophomore football player, but primarily focuses in wrestling, was our linebacker this year, our middle linebacker for our football team. So Beasley loses quickly to Cabanas, and now Camacho has to try and gain back some points here against Dejon Williams. Camacho getting pretty aggressive here with Williams, trying to wrestle him to the ground, trying to hook the leg. Dejon Williams tries to wrestle him to the ground, and 3 points awarded there to Rene Camacho to start. Camacho in a good spot now. Trying to hook the leg, but a nice escape there from Williams. A good match so far, and a nice move there by Camacho to earn himself 3 points. But a point also awarded there to Williams. Camacho, big but quick, has pretty broad shoulders, has great power from his legs. We see him during his middle linebacker tackles, and he really excels with his speed and strength from his lower half. So Williams against Camacho here. Camacho with the 4-point advantage. Williams looking for the takedown, but Camacho almost gets the position. Camacho had a big opportunity there. He flipped him onto his back, but just was a little bit too far out of bounds. So with about 49 seconds left here in period number 1, Camacho still holds his 4-point lead. Camacho, a tough cookie. Williams the same. 40 seconds down. 40 seconds left here in period number 1. Camacho looking for the hook, trying to get him onto his back. And he does. Another 3 points there for Camacho. Lets Williams go, though, so it gets him another point. So 9-3 the score. Camacho going for the legs once again. Camacho still trying to force to the ground. There's another 3 points for Camacho. Lets Williams go. 12-4 the score. Williams looking for the takedown himself. We're going to look at the replay in the bottom left. 8 seconds here in period number 1. Camacho looking for the takedown once again. Trying to drag Williams to the ground. 2 seconds left. See if he can get it off, and he cannot. Zeros read before Camacho can get another one off. 12-4 the score.
We see Camacho such a great first step, so quick with it. Hard to react when he goes after the legs. Now he's only one more takedown away from winning it after scoring to 15, which would be huge to get out in front and then get Gogolski there. Keep on rolling, keep trying to add on the team points. You're down by 7 now, but it's not that far a gap in the grand scheme.
So now Camacho trying to wrestle himself off of Williams, trying to maybe flip Williams onto his back with a nice reversal there. Camacho still fighting, Williams doing the same. Camacho now in this little bear crawl position, almost gets himself into trouble. He gets flat on his stomach now as Williams driving force, trying to use his upper half to push down and wear down Rene Camacho's shoulders. Williams still has positional advantage over Camacho. Camacho trying to wrestle himself off. Camacho trying to stand up. Williams still has positioning for the leg. Camacho still trying to fight his way out, and a takedown there by Williams. No points awarded. Camacho gets back on top of reversal there, and he gets his 2 points. Well played there by the sophomore. So just 1 minute to play here in period number 2. So Camacho wearing down Williams. 45 seconds left here in period number 2. He's trying to force him onto his back. Camacho has good positioning, trying to go for the pin here. He has him in a good position to do so, and he gets the pin. Nice win there by the sophomore Brady Camacho. And Sterling one step closer to try and even this one up. It's 16-17 in favor of the Paulsboro Red Raiders.
Their second pin of the night for Sterling. First coming from Romano, and then 2 rounds later with Camacho. Very impressive round. Had a lot of the control. Obviously, sometimes couldn't quite get there, but nonetheless, ended up with a pin for Sterling. A 1-point deficit, still in Paulsboro's favor, but not far out of their reach.
So Gogolski versus Scott. Gogolski, a.k.a. Gogo. Shout out to Gogo's pop-up watching live in Maine. Gogo's mask looked like it fell off, or his headgear. Still trying to push down Scott, who got himself back onto his stomach. 3 points awarded there for Sterling, and another 3 for the back points. So Gogo with an early 6-0 lead over Scott. Gogo's headgear still in a weird position on his face. He looks a little blind as we take a look at the replay.
Again there, great control over Scott.
Gogo sang Last Christmas with his great buddy Kenny McCardle during our pep rally today. Fun little rendition. A little acoustic version, too. McCardle on the guitar. Gogo was singing to, the crowd. Should put that on YouTube in about a day or 2. Gogo loves the attention. I mean, he's a very, he doesn't get embarrassed very often. I don't think social anxiety really exists when it comes to Gogo. So almost a minute down here in period number 1. Gogo versus Scott. One of our outstanding pitchers in the baseball team, committed for baseball to, I think, Rutgers Camden to pitch. Also plays first base and outfield for the Sterling Knights, who are hoping to have a great season. A lot of seniors on the squad this year. This is one of the seasons to do it. Looks like a timeout taken here by Gogo. I think looks like a bloody lip for Gogo. Looks like the ref stopped time. Might hurt the singing career. I don't know if the lip would do it, Mr. K. Maybe something inside the lip, but
It'll just make it hard to pronounce some words.
Yeah. So thank you all for tuning in here to what I like to call Friday Night Smackdown. I'm Daniel Leakin, joined here by Max Zubak, here covering the Paulsboro Red Raiders going against your Sterling Silver Knights. Next Monday, we will be covering boys basketball for the first time this season. Very anticipated after their big win over the West Defford Eagles. So back in 2016, the Sterling Knights scored 17 points against Paulsboro, which is the most they've had. Right now, they're at 16 and have an opportunity to top that over the Red Raiders. That's the most we've gotten against Paulsboro in the last 15 years. Gogo with an opportunity to get that. Good moves here by Scott, which gets Gogo in a bad position. Gogo still holding that hamstring of Scott. Gogo trying to get himself back up as Scott trying to drive down lower Gogo's upper half. A point awarded there to the Red Raiders, which is Scott's first of the period. The headgear once again. Gogo's had some problems with the headgear so far in this matchup. Right when they started, Max, I made a comment about Gogo being blind. It's because he took down Scott with his headgear over his eyes.
Took Cyclops out of X-Men for a second there.
So Gogo now with 12 seconds left, trying to get himself on the board here for Sterling. Looking for the takedown of the legs. Scott tried to capitalize. Gogo got himself away. 2 seconds read here in period number 1, and I think that'll do it. So Gogo up 5-1 after period number 1.
I think we're looking to
maybe look like maybe in a moment, Gogo may make a headgear adjustment. I think Coach Wiggins has one in his hand. After it falling down, I'd say 2 or 3 times.
You'd rather be safe than sorry at this point.
Gogo still fighting here against Scott. Headgear falling down once again, can't see. Gogo, I definitely think, is a little frustrated with the headgear as well. Keeps falling over his eyes. Time stops. Looks like he's going to switch it up. I'd say about time. That thing was falling down one too many times there for Gogo.
Probably should have switched it during the first one.
Gogo won his last match for Sterling. One of, say, 4 or 5 that were 1-0. Ryan Police had a forfeit. Declan Winters won. John Beasley won. Rene Camacho won. Gogo won in their matchup against Haddon Township. So Gogo still undefeated on the season. Knock on wood. And now Gogo looking to take one here against Dante Scott. This is the 190 matchup. We have another heavyweight one, and then the big one, the 285 matchup. And then we restart back up at 106 because we started this one at 132. So a minute ticking down here to start off the period number 2. Scott was looking for the leg. Gogo got back on top. Good positioning, and he get himself takedown points. 8-1 the score now. Great job there by Gogo for the adjustment.
Let's take a look again here. He goes down, gets a bit of a headlock, sees the opportunity to rotate, and then crushes down for the 3 points.
Looks like Gogo's headgear works now. Hasn't fallen off yet.
No malfunctions.
Yep. I think it did blind him now like 4 or 5 times. He was not getting any help from his headgear there.
I should have kept a tally on that.
So 20 seconds left here in period number 2. Gogo with an 8-1 advantage here over Scott. Gogo trying to drive Scott into the mat. Scott trying to get his positioning back. Gogo has to say persistent, but Scott gets out of it and gets himself a point. 8-2 the score. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left. They're still going. And that is the end of period number 2. 8-2 the score here between Gogo and Scott in favor of Gogo. Team score, Sterling has 16, Paulsboro has 17. So if Gogo can win this round, Sterling would take the lead. So 2 minutes to decide the winner here in period number 3. And they start in neutral position. Gogo, a pretty strong upper half, as Mr. K said, because of his baseball roots. His good hip motions as well, a lot of the swinging stuff that he does. So he's pretty flexible as well when he gets taken down to the ground. And at a 190 standpoint, that's definitely a key thing to have. Nice move there by Scott. Gogo looking for positioning. Has Scott where he wants him. Gogo trying to drive Scott. Looks like neutral, and no one gets points from that one. 1:20 read on the clock for period number 3. Scott trying to drag Gogo down by his neck. 1:10 read, period number 3 between these two wrestlers. A nice spirited match so far. So just a minute to go here in period number 3 between Gogo and Scott. A warning given there by Gogo, a stall warning. So it looks like they're going to go back in neutral position. 50 seconds read here in period number 3. .40 seconds now read on period number 3. Gogo and Scott back in that neutral position. Gogo gets himself in a good spot, but Scott gets up. 30 seconds read. Gogo and Scott still fighting it out, or wrestling it out, excuse me. 20 seconds read now in period number 3. 18 seconds now. Gogo trying to get himself in a takedown position. He gets his 3 points. 11-2 now the score.
Gogo's been very good, especially with finding these types of openings, getting these moves, gets the takedown points. He's been very good at securing those points and then keeping them throughout this third period, not letting any points go to waste and not letting any come at him.
So 13 seconds now in period number 3. Gogo on top, Scott at the bottom. 10 seconds remain. Gogo with the 11-2 advantage. 5 seconds left. So a point awarded to Paulsboro because they say Gogo was stalling. So 3.7 left on the clock in period number 3. Gogo on top, Scott on the bottom. Scott trying to get himself up, but that'll do it. And Gogo will take this one against Dante Scott at a final score of 11-3, which puts Sterling in lead by 3. The most they've scored against Paulsboro in over 15 years. This is the team to do it. Very impressive showings from everyone so far, but we're not done yet. And now wrestling 215 for Sterling, it's going to be Liam Crawford.
For Paulsboro, Frank Daminger.
And he will go against Frank Daminger. So Frank Daminger against Liam Crawford here. This is the 215 matchup. Talk about the football transition for Sterling. Crawford, our star offensive lineman. I think he's one of the tackles. I would like to say the left tackle if I'm correct, but I might be very wrong about that, so don't quote me. 3-1 the score here so far. Daminger with an early takedown, but Crawford got back up. Daminger once again gets right back on top of Crawford. Daminger still fighting here with Crawford as we take a look at that last takedown. Good job there, Crawford, getting himself back in good position. Still going here against Daminger. There's a little slap in the back there from Daminger, and looks like Crawford's going to be awarded a point.
Take a look again. Definitely a bit on the rougher side of things as he goes, yeah, it's a bit of a smack in the back of the head there. Awards Crawford a point.
So now 6-3 the score in favor of Crawford. Still trying to wrestle down. Daminger's very, very feisty on top. Good job working on the upper half of Liam Crawford. Obviously, as I mentioned, a good tackle on our football team, so definitely gets a lot of his advantages from his lower half, where he needs to be square a lot of the time to drive the end away. Doing a good job here against Daminger, who looks a little bit like the more experienced wrestler, Liam Crawford, only a sophomore. But he's holding his own quite well. 35 seconds read here in period number 1. Still pushing forward here. Trying to get himself in a good position here against Daminger. Daminger trying to hook the leg. Crawford gets back up. 17 seconds read here in period number 1. Daminger trying to wrestle down Crawford. Still both in this neutral position. A little bit of a grapple on top. 5 seconds read here in period number 1. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that'll do it for period number 1. Daminger taking that one 6-3. So good start for both wrestlers. Crawford staying in that one as he will start on the bottom. Looks like Daminger will start on top. Daminger driving Crawford into the ground. Crawford has to muscle himself back up here. A lot of weight to carry around as we're definitely in the heavyweight stage of our Friday night SmackDown between Paulsboro and Sterling. Getting himself up is Crawford. Nice job there by Crawford. Gets himself another point. 6-4 the score. Still doing his best here against Daminger. Still doing a good job up top. That's where Daminger strives in his game, is working the top half of his opponents. And as I mentioned before, Max Crawford, a lot more of a bottom-driven opponent. Nice move there by Daminger. Gets himself in a good position. Crawford trying to work himself to the outside of the mat. No points awarded there for Daminger.
I mean, Daminger has a nice attempt going after the legs, but he just can't quite get it done against Crawford, who, as we said, very leg-based, very low body-driven. He was able to use that strength to keep himself up.
So now, still battling here between Crawford and Daminger. 53 seconds read here in period number 2. And now Crawford trying to get on top. Daminger still fighting. Crawford still pulling through, trying to throw Daminger to the ground, and he gets on top. And those are 3 points there for Crawford, who takes the lead here in period number 2. Big play. Crawford trying to flip him onto his back. Daminger staying persistent. Crawford now on top, fully 30 seconds down, period number 2. Liam Crawford trying to get him on his back now. Daminger with a nice reversal. He gets himself 2 points and retakes the lead. A great matchup here for the 215. 10 seconds remaining. Whistle blows. We have blood time now. We're going to take a look at the replay.
You take a look. It's good control. Snatches him back down. That's points for Crawford, but then on the other side of things, just can't quite get it done as he gets reversed, and it gives Frank Daminger back into the lead, only by 1 point. Still very close.
What a spirited battle so far between these two warriors. I wouldn't even call them wrestlers. I call them warriors. 8-7 the score. Crawford had a good position there. Really one of the first times he's had, I'd say, the positional advantage over Daminger, but couldn't finish it off. And Daminger got right back on top as we're going to take another look at the replay. As we see, in a really good spot to try and make something happen as he throws him to the ground, gets the takedown points. But then soon thereafter, Daminger got right back up, did the reversal. So super spirited battle so far in this 215. Then to follow, we're going to have 285, which is the heavyweight matchup, and then 106, 113, 120, and then this will finish off on the 126 matchup. So 5 more matchups to go, not including this one. Still have to figure out the remaining. Looks like Sean Clank is using Vaseline on the lips of Daminger.
It's the right thing to do.
Just completely spirited battle in period number 2. Crawford doing a great job here against a very, very tough opponent. Might be getting the blood off of his singlet. Also, there's a little some on his head as well. Thank you all for tuning in here on this Friday night SmackDown. I'm going to keep calling it that. I really like that name. I'm Daniel Leakin, joined here by Max Zubak. Glad to bring you guys the first wrestling stream of the year. If you want to keep track of Sterling Sports here at the Castle, make sure you go follow Mr. Sayano on his athletic director's Instagram and Twitter account at Go Knights Sports for all our sports updates here at the Castle. Again, follow him on Go Knights Sports. And his Instagram as well. So we're getting back to this 215 matchup here between Liam Crawford and Frank Daminger. 9.4 seconds here in period number 2 as both wrestlers get the blood off of their bodies. 4 seconds, 3 seconds read. Crawford just has to stay strong here. And that'll do it for period number 2. So just getting set here for period number 3. Daminger has the 8-7 advantage over Crawford. Sterling with the team advantage, though, 20-17. Sterling lost earlier this week to Haddon Township, so definitely looking to try and capture some wins today against Paulsboro. So a reset here. It looks like Crawford to be on top, Daminger at the bottom. Crawford's going to drive Daminger to the ground, which he's trying to do very forcefully right now. Daminger does a great job of getting right back on his feet, trying to break away from the steal from Crawford. Crawford trying to hook the leg, trying to take him down. Daminger gets out and gets himself a point. He has a 2-point advantage over Crawford. He had the grip right there, Max. He just could not get him down. Daminger does a good job of being elusive, even at the 215 weight and slipping away from Crawford.
That's what's very helpful when you're against someone who came from football and is only starting wrestling throughout this year. They're still taking their time and figuring out exactly what to do in every situation, especially throughout an actual match. And Daminger knows what he's doing. He's doing this for a long time, and he's really good at getting out of those situations.
So Crawford here against Daminger. Both wrestlers super strong up front. Crawford with those left tackle legs as well, trying to drive Daminger. Had him in a good position earlier in period number 2, but just couldn't finish it. Both wrestlers still going strong here. Just under a minute to go here in period number 3. Liam Crawford still pushing the support of the Sterling faithful. 45 seconds in period number 3, and both wrestlers back in neutral position. 40 seconds remain. Crawford still pushing. Daminger still pushing. Both of these big boys feeling just a little bit tired here as we're approaching 30 seconds to go in period number 3. Tension in the gymnasium arising. Both benches shouting out things. Crawford going for the takedown. Crawford trying to wrestle down Daminger, finding that he feels a little weak. Daminger pushes Crawford, and they will reset. Coach Wiggins and Kenny McCardle shouting orders from the side. 18 seconds go here in period number 3. Has to get him down here. Liam Crawford has to drive him to the ground, get a reversal. But to the win, he has to get him down. Crawford has to get the takedown here. Daminger in position. Crawford still fighting 3 points to Daminger. And I think that one's going to do it here between Crawford and Daminger. Spirited battle, but Daminger comes out on top.
See here, it's a good effort from Crawford to get him down, but it's a reverse by Daminger that results in a point. We're all tied at 20. The team scores.
So now we have the main event heavyweight match here on Saturday Night SmackDown. It's between Desi Mullen, Big Diesel Desi, and Jared Hazel.
Saturday night?
Friday Night SmackDown, excuse me. So Hazel has the height advantage, and a quick takedown there for Hazel. Big Diesel Desi gets a lot of his strength from his lower half. Hazel trying to flip, gets back on top. Early 3 points here for Hazel in period number 1. Mullen trying to pull himself out of it. Hazel has him up, looking to drop, gets him down. Has him in a good lock here. Arm above Desi's head. Trying to flip him now is Hazel. Hazel gets his strength from his lower half. Mullen still fighting. Mullen in a bad spot here, though. Both benches barking orders. Mullen breaks free. Mullen still fighting here. 1 minute to go here in period number 1. Still fighting here with Hazel. Mullen gets back up to his feet. Good job there by Mullen. Mullen did not fight in the 285 heavyweight weight class on Tuesdays, his first varsity match as a freshman. So 40 seconds to go here in period number 1 as we take a look at that escape in the bottom left corner. Mullen still trying to push forward, trying to be aggressive. Hazel looking for the takedown, trying to get the back leg. Mullen trying to stand up. Hazel trying to get positioning and gets his 3 points. Tie team score here as Mullen tries to get himself back up, trying to throw Hazel to the ground, but Hazel gets him down. Both shoulders look to be pinned, and he gets the pin. Good job there by Hazel as he throws the freshman Mullen down. And the heavyweight matchup is won by Jared Hazel.
Well, Hazel obviously has the age advantage, he has the experience advantage. Desi, you know, as a freshman, has plenty of time to get better with this sport. Jesus took advantage of the experience level difference, and he got him down pretty quickly. And we got brought from 285 back up all the way to 106.
So yeah, after that heavyweight matchup, we have the 106 matchup between Ryan Pleece and Will Cruz. Early 3 points there for Cruz. Whistle blows. So it'll be neutral. Ryan Pleece, a freshman. Battling here with Will Cruz, who tries to get his leg. Will Cruz gets himself in a good position, trying to take down Ryan Pleece, and he does. Gets himself another 3 points. Cruz has him in a good position, has that arm locked up.
The replay
and tries to flip him onto his back. Will Cruz has him in a good spot, and both shoulders are down, and he gets the pin. Will Cruz, total domination, as Paulsboro gets another 6, and the score is now 32-20.
Makes quick work, throws him onto the back, gets his shoulders down. It was a good attempt trying to get him from the arch, just couldn't quite happen. And look again, he gets control of the arms and pins him down for that 1 second.
So Gallucci versus Santa. It is the time of the year for Santa, and we're seeing him here at the Sterling Gymnasium. Gallucci and Santa both in good spots, but Santa gets the takedown. Both still very quick wrestlers here at the 113 weight. Gallucci gets a point for the escape. Gallucci doing a good job here against Santa. Trying to wrestle him to the ground. Gallucci gets to a leg. Santa does a good job with the reversal. Gallucci still hanging on to that leg. He gets on top, gets himself 3 points. Good job there by the freshman Chris Gallucci. Still battling here with Santa. Still trying to throw him onto his back. Gallucci trying to get himself into a good spot, trying to drive in. Santa trying to get himself out of this position. Both quick wrestlers. Gallucci has him on the front, trying to push him onto his back. Couldn't get it. Gallucci still trying to wrestle him down to his back. It's had him close just a couple of times. Finally gets him onto the back. Gallucci getting some back points right now. He may have only gotten 1. He got 4 points. Gallucci still doing well here against Santa. The freshman going to work, doing especially well in the ground game here, forcing his body weight on top of Santa. Still going here against Santa. Has to maintain this positioning. Santa trying to break out, maybe trying to get an escape point. Gallucci still doing a good job of keeping that pressure on. 6 seconds read in period number 1. I think we're going to wrap this one up, but a very spirited match so far as Gallucci takes this one 8-3.
Very strong start, getting yourself 5 points out. And a lot of close pin attempts early on. You're going to be looking out to try and see maybe he can get to the back once again, because it's been a main goal. He's got pretty solid with the takedowns, just a matter of getting into that rhythm quickly to maintain most of the round to himself.
So now Gallucci on the bottom, Santa on top. Gallucci looking for its first win of the year. Caution against Paulsboro there. So now Gallucci trying to get out from underneath. Santa keeping up the pressure. Gallucci getting out well. Gallucci, great job there. So 9-3 the score in favor of Gallucci. Back in this neutral position. Both wrestlers have each other in the grapple. Gallucci looking underneath. Santa has him in a good spot. Gallucci trying to get on top, looking for the takedown. He gets it. Big 3 points there for Gallucci. 3 away from the 15 mark. Gallucci still fighting down Santa. Looking like the much stronger player underneath, and definitely uses his impact up on the top half of his body as well. Coach Wiggins just used one of his players as an example on what to do on the mat there for Gallucci. Quite funny interaction there. Gallucci trying to put him over onto his back. He almost got him, trying to roll him down. He's on his back, and he gets the pin. Big pin there for the freshman Chris Gallucci. How do you do? Sterling still fighting here with the opportunity. 32-26 the score.
Well, it's a great rotation, great effort, obviously. Santa gets there, but he can't quite keep him down. And the shoulders go down. Gallucci gets a well-deserved and much-needed pin for the overall team scores. An enthusiastic run-in from Fitzgerald.
So it'll be Thomas Fitzgerald for Sterling and Hayden Holmes for Paulsboro in the 120 matchup. Sterling now with 26 points, by far the most they've scored against Paulsboro. But now they're down by 3 in terms of this personal matchup, and the most they've scored against Paulsboro in quite some time. So a quick advantage here for Holmes over Fitzgerald. Nice groundwork here by Holmes, trying to flip Fitzgerald on his back, trying to drive his lower half. He's quite close to the pin here. Still trying to flip. Trying to drive that, what looks like his left leg. He gets his right leg as well, and now looking to go for the pin here. One shoulder's down here for Fitzgerald. He's in a bad position here against Holmes. Holmes still pushing. Resiliency from his lower half, getting some back points is Holmes. Looking for the pin. The one left shoulder still not down. Still fighting here, and he gets down, and Holmes gets the pin.
Holmes, as we see, takes maybe a minute to get there. And Fitzgerald with a lot of fight to try and keep the pin from happening, but nonetheless, the end result is still the same. Another 6 points to the team, to the Red Raiders.
So it'll be Rogers versus Chilla. It is 38-26 in favor of Paulsboro. Quick start there for Sterling as Rogers gets hurt in injury timeout there. He's holding his arm.
We take a look again. It's kind of yanked as he tries to escape back into the neutral position. He held right onto the shoulder.
Definitely looked a little uncomfortable in the moment.
They get the handshake. He goes for a quick dive. It's wrapped around.
Oh.
He has to hold onto the shoulder immediately. A bit of a overextension.
Yeah. It's a little hyperextension here for Rogers in the last match of the night at the 126 matchup between him and Chilla. So we're going to take another look at this replay here.
Handshake they call for it. He goes for the quick dive. Goes for the roll. Yeah,
just looks like a little hyperextension there of the arm.
Uncomfortable, but nothing insanely serious.
And you can follow us on Twitter or X at SterlingTV19, where we'll have live updates of all the games and, of course, all the fun and cool things that happen here at the Castle. So make sure you guys go follow us on Twitter or X, at SterlingTV19. I mean, the Twitter you guys should be following right now are the national champions, one of the Emmy Award winners here on Sterling Channel 19. Our first time in school history. Dan Farr started this program, I'd say 30-ish years ago, and we won a national Emmy for best sports broadcast in the country. Out of every high school in the country.
That's a lot of high schools.
That's a lot of high schools. So now Rogers back and fighting. He gets a nice move there on Chilla, still being resilient, and he pushes Chilla down, gets his early 3. That looked like a cool move right there. Rogers is he's in myself and Mr. K's TV class, a football player and a wrestler as well, doing this 126 matchup here against Chilla. and get an early disruption at the start of the match, but has done a good job getting himself back on track.
Take a look at that replay. The bottom left corner. Goes for yet another quick dive and then flips him over his head and then secures the takedown for the first 3 points of the period.
Great strength there by Rogers.
Good control as well.
So under a minute to play here to wrestle here in period number 1. 3-0 to score in favor of Rogers.
Now they're just playing.
It's been the soccer, man. We had so much soccer this year. It's like engraved in my memory.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So a warning is called here. So the most Paulsboro has scored against us is 52. The least they've scored is 52. Now they're only at 38. I think basically impossible to get to 52 with 1 match left. So Sterling. An illegal slam there against Rogers, but illegal slam there by Rogers against Chilla, but super aggressive. And we're going to watch this one more time here on Friday Night SmackDown, and just slams him against the mat, but definitely said that was a illegal slam to the ground. Is the rule there is Chilla has to have some way to support himself as he goes to the ground. He has to place him, but there Rogers kind of did more of a slam, something we'd see on normal Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah, he hit him with the move the man who made that show coined, the rock bottom.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
To show how good Sterling has done, they lost this matchup last year 72-9, so the program has just gotten so much better here for the Knights under head coach, Coach Wiggins. Recruited some of the football players to come along, which I think has helped a lot. Those two sports correlate quite well as there is the end of period number 1.
This period had a lot. It had a quick stoppage, then you got back into a lot of energy, and then you saw the return of Brock Lesnar midway through. It was incredible. It's a lot of action to fit into one set of 2 minutes.
We will have a post-game show after this with a couple of the winners from a couple of the matches.
So the shoulder kind of got reactivated into some injury.
So we're going to take a look once again. Immediate pain right there.
It's kind of slams down, and he has to hold it once again.
So post-game show to follow along the likes of Declan winners, Victor Romano, Gogo, and Chris Galucci, the 4 winners for Sterling this evening. Maybe Rene Camacho as well, another one of those winners. Big day for Sterling, even though they have lost and is impossible to win at this point of the matchup. A big day for the program and a historically great Paulsboro program that they're doing a great job against. And there's a reversal there for Chilla, so that ties this one up at 3.
It's a good kind of rolling thunder-esque deal to and get some leg control for the reversal.
So now trying to go for the pin here is Chilla. Rogers in a bad position. He's getting the back points. He's looking for both the shoulders down. Rogers in a spotty position, and he gets the pin!
You couldn't see that.
Rogers had his protection over his eyes. He couldn't see, and Chilla wins that matchup.
Very impressive turn of events to really gain the full control and get the pin to make it 44-26.
Very interesting turn of events, and it looked like at the start Rogers was really controlling that matchup, but Chilla gets him onto his shoulders, and that'll do it here between Sterling and Paulsboro. So post-game show to follow. Paulsboro wins this one 44-26. We're going to have a couple of the wrestlers on here for the post-game show. We'll be right back in just a few moments as we look at the dazzling lights from Mr. Schulz's house.
Douglas. Here. Brody. Here. Joshua. Joshua. Joshua.
I don't think he signed up for flex time.
Oh no. Oh no.
Dude, are you kidding? Pictures. Sean, what are you doing? Go to Redmond's office.
Hey, stop that, bully!
Are you begging for a knuckle sandwich, twerp?
Maybe I am.
Nice try, twerp.
Please, hamburger, please help me. He's bullying me. You're right. I need to help you. I'm the anti-bully.
I can't be defeated.
Logan. Oh my God, thank you. Oh yes, King.
Oh my God, what a loser. He's so annoying.
Looking at the story, you'll know by the story the first few lines. We're talking about that paragraph again in the story.
You know what? I'm done. That's it, teach. I quit. I'm done. You know what? I'm gonna stay in school.
Back to Sterling Channel 19. After the Knights lost 44-27 against the Red Raiders, we have a couple of the great individual performances. First, starting with senior Anthony Gogolski. Now, Ant, what were the thoughts, what were the feelings as you were going into that match, as you were doing during? I mean, what was going through your head?
Good question, Dan. You know, I was very excited going into this match. It's my second match back. You know, it's my senior season. I've been working my butt off in the room. You know, it's a very hard sport. You have to train very hard to excel at what you want to do if you want to have a plan to do it. So I weighed in at 173 today. I'm obviously wrestling 190 because I want to be able to, you know, mix match between 75 and 90. So I was lighter, really light today, and I came out aggressive, and I got winded pretty quick, which I noticed. I still tried to keep up the pace in the match and keep getting points, but I was a little winded. So I was staying on him more, letting him work after I got more of my points, but I definitely tried to be the aggressor in the beginning, but I did get a little gassed, so I'm definitely going to be wrestling 75 more, I think.
So, I mean, what are some of the weaknesses you noticed during your game? I mean, how do you hone your craft, really, as you're wrestling someone a little bit more heavier than you?
As in my weaknesses or my opponents?
Opponents.
One thing I like to read a lot is the hips. You know, I went in right to a tie to set them up. I love my ties. I don't get beat a lot in ties. When I'm tied up with someone, I won't let him get to my legs. I like working ties a lot. When I had him in my tie, I knew he wasn't going to beat me to my legs. I knew I was going to be able to work him and stay in control the whole match. So the first thing I really look for in my match is setting up my tie to work my shot, I had a trip single leg takedown in the beginning where I got my 3 and then my back points, which set me off pretty far in the head in the beginning.
I appreciate the answers, Goga. I'm going to let you go. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. So next, I'm going to have Rene Camacho. Now, Rene, you're a wrestler who kind of came from wrestling, and you went to football, came back to wrestling. How has those two sports correlating helped you hone your craft a little bit more in the wrestling mat?
I mean, I'm originally a wrestler, so football is not really my main sport. Wrestling is. But with wrestling, the takedowns we do also correlates to football, and I guess that's the reason why I'm one of our big tacklers, and also right here I'm one of our big guys to get points. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you something similar I asked to Gogo. When you're on the mat, what are you looking for in your opponent that really kind of strikes you and kind of gives you that leg up that you know you can take them down?
So like with a lot of matches, I like to intimidate, so I'll stare him down before I go out. And then like I saw it before he even started when we got weighed in. What's it called? So we came in and he just like seemed nervous and he was scared to wrestle. So I knew it was gonna be like an easy match, but like once we got in there, he was just a little stronger than me.
I appreciate your time, Renee. Thank you for coming on. Congratulations. Next, I'm going to have Victor Romano coming in here for the post-game interview. Now, Victor, yours was a little bit of a longer match. How do you keep yourself in it, keep that stamina going in such a tiring match like the one you had today?
I mean, honestly, I just was like really trying to win that match because we was so close with the team points, and this is a real good team. So I was just so locked in. I was getting everyone hyped up. I mean, yeah.
So you guys as a team have not scored well against Paulsboro within the last 15 years. This is the most you guys have scored in 15 years. How does it feel to have a big part in that with a huge win today?
It feels amazing, honestly, bro, to become that close with Paulsboro, and I don't even know. It feels amazing.
Now, with a team like Paulsboro, clearly you didn't feel very intimidating. What kind of goes through your head as you're entering the mat against a talented team like Paulsboro, knowing that you got a pretty tough matchup ahead of you?
I mean, I was scared, honestly, but I knew I had to lock in and do what I had to do for the team.
I appreciate you coming on. Victor, congratulations on your win. And then last but not least, I'm going to have Declan Winters. Now, Declan, I mean, you beat your opponent pretty handedly. What is something that you used to your advantage against your opponent that kind of gave you the win?
I like the arm lever. I mean, it really helps me, and I use my conditioning. I'm really good conditioned, so I just like to use it a lot.
Now, again, just as I mentioned to Victor just a few moments ago, this is the most that Sterling has scored team-wise against Paulsboro in over 15 years. And, I mean, as a sophomore, how does it feel to have yourself submitted into that legacy as such a good wrestler that you guys paired so well against Paulsboro?
I mean, it feels pretty good. We just have to follow what Coach tells us to do, and we'll just win.
So when you're wrestling, I mean, you really go give it your all. I mean, you took control of that matchup. What are some of the thoughts going through your head as the matchup, stuff to focus on as time goes on?
To watch his feet, watch his hands, just pay attention to what's happening in the match and focus.
I appreciate you coming on, Declan. Congratulations on your win. Thank you very much. Gogo wants to give a quick shout out.
Pop up all the way up in Maine, Skipper. I see you. Love you.
Gave a shout out to him during the match as well. So that's going to do it for wrestling today. Paulsboro takes the win against Sterling, but Sterling with a very resilient effort against those Red Raiders who gave them a lot of trouble. Thank you all for tuning in today for some Friday Night SmackDown with me and Max Zubak. I'm going to sign off for right now. Happy holidays to all. We're going to see you guys on Monday as boys basketball goes against Cherokee. And as always,